Am I dreaming right now? Did Zach Cox just upload a video that's not GTA 6?
I'm a fault with.
Bro.
How many of y'all are scared of water in video games? Personally, I don't think there is anything scarier in Grand Theft Auto than being in a submarine in the middle of the ocean in this dark blue abyss, bottomless pit that you can't see the bottom of, whether you have a shark behind you or just being in the ocean. It's overall scary. But today, we're going to be putting that aside and talking about some of the scariest missions in Grand Theft Auto. Now, obviously, GTA isn't a horror game filled with terrifying, scary missions, but there are some, kind of like Fender Ketchup from GTA San Andreas with the scare-o-meter. I'm just kidding there, but in Grand Theft Auto, there are a couple scary missions. There's not too many of them, but if we get enough support on this video, let's go for 2,000 likes, well, then we will make a part 2 to this video, but it's going to be the scariest missions in Rockstar games, because aside from Grand Theft Auto, there are some pretty terrifying missions in Rockstar games outside of GTA. So if y'all enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and let's go ahead and take a look at the scariest missions in Grand Theft Auto. Starting off in chronological order, we have the mission Kingdom Come from Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, this mission is given to us by King Courtney. We're tasked with just picking up a vehicle in a parking lot, but once we get to the vehicle, we discover it's a trap. We're blocked in by these vans with these spanked up bombers coming out at us, trying to blow us up. These guys have, like, vests with bombs on them. That's a very creative way to say that, due to YouTube probably demonetizing this video if I don't. Anyways, these guys are trying to come at us, but what makes this scary, in my opinion, and I remember playing this mission way back in the day as a little kid in the middle of the night during the summertime, but these guys have these creepy laughs, and they're also saying, ha, come to daddy. And personally, I just don't think there's anything creepier than that, especially on top of GTA 3's already kind of creepy, drab, dreary atmosphere. This mission just sent me over the edge.
Come to daddy. Come to daddy. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Next up, we have Eddie Lowe's random encounters in Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, Eddie Lowe is quite possibly one of the creepiest characters in Grand Theft Auto. I actually have a whole video dedicated to Eddie Lowe that I made in 2018. You can check out if you would like a more in-depth analysis of Eddie Lowe. Nonetheless, though, you can encounter Eddie Lowe 2 different times in GTA 4, and both have to be at nighttime in a dark alley. And the first time we encounter him, we make small talk. He wants a ride to the docks. We give him a ride to the docks, and aside from his creepy dialogue along the way, all he does is get out with a sports bag and toss it into the water, and then we drop him off. Well, later on, we can actually hear on the radio that a person was found inside a sports bag in the water near the docks. Now, the second encounter that we have with Eddie Lowe is once again in a dark alleyway, and this time he's once again trying to make small talk, making disturbing comments towards Nico Bellic, asking if he likes to be spanked, and just weird things like that. And Nico tells him, yo, dude, back off, my man, just chill out. This isn't cool at all, and this enrages Eddie. He gets mad at Nico, pulls out a knife, and tries to kill him. Well, that leads us to have to go ahead and put Eddie Lowe out of his misery, put him down like a dog, because this guy isn't going to get to us with his creepy self, and we're not going to end up in a bag in the water. So, nonetheless, even though we take out Eddie Lowe, just listening to his dialogue and playing through his missions and the things he says, does, and the things we find out through the Weasel News radio and Liberty Tree newspaper in-game, well, this man is very, very scary alongside his missions in dark alleyways at night. Moving on to Grand Theft Auto 5, we have an actual very creepy thing to see on a mountain, and you probably expected this one to be in the video, but on Mount Gordo between 11 and midnight every single day, we can witness a ghost manifest itself near a rock with a very steep drop right behind it. And this is a female ghost with long black hair, a white dress, and she is translucent, and she will actually fade away if we try to get close to it. Now, who is this ghost and what's the story behind this scary-looking girl? Well, in the Grand Theft Auto universe, there's a man by the name of Jock Cranley. Jock Cranley was a very famous stuntman in the 70s and 80s, and he also goes on to run for president in GTA 5. But back in the 70s, before he actually became a famous stuntman, Jock Cranley's wife objected to him moving to Los Santos to become a stuntman. So one day, while hiking with his wife on a mountain, he actually pushed her off where she fell to her unfortunate demise. And as a result of this, well, Jock Cranley was arrested but released and nothing ever happened. And the ghost we see on this mountain is actually the ghost of Jock Cranley's wife, Jolene Cranley Evans, and that's who this scary girl is. Now, while this isn't a mission, this is a encounter, and like I said, I consider this very scary in GTA 5, especially if you don't know the backstory to this girl and you're just on a mountain at night, driving your Infernus, ramping off hills, and you see this scary ghost girl. Next up, we have the Murder Mystery. This came to us with the PS4 and Xbox One version of Grand Theft Auto 5, and the Murder Mystery takes us all around the GTA 5 map from Los Santos way out to Sandy Shores, to the countrysides, to actually the ocean. And in doing so, we come across some very, very scary things, in my opinion. So the second clue in the Murder Mystery takes us underneath the surfaces of the ocean in GTA 5. And in doing so and going down here, we find the body of a woman who has her hands bound behind her back, a bag over her head, and her feet is actually in a concrete block. This was called concrete shoes. And she's found just off of the coast of Fort Zancudo. And we see a ship near her. And just like I said at the beginning of the video, everything about being in the ocean in GTA 5 is creepy. And actually, when just swimming around this woman, we can see her body still kind of moving and waving here. And we find out how she gets here and what happened, but if you didn't ever solve the murder mystery or know about it, just scuba diving in Grand Theft Auto 5 and coming across her is very, very terrifying. And even doing the mission and the murder mystery is still very, very terrifying. I feel like she's just going to reach out and touch me or something. It's so creepy. Now, also a part of the murder mystery and the third and final clue, it'll actually take us to the mine shaft, which we can blow the door down and go through. And just being in this dark, creepy cave is scary enough, but also you will come across, if you keep on going deeper and deeper into the cave, the body of a man wearing a pinstripe suit with a fedora. Contrary to popular belief, this is not Cole Phelps from LA Noire. But this man in here is still very, very creepy as he is decayed, and it just makes you wonder, how did he get here? If you haven't solved the murder mystery and kept up with that, because you can actually discover this man, whose name is Isaac, by the way, with or without doing the murder mystery. And much like the woman at the bottom of the ocean, whether you're doing the mystery or not, it's very, very creepy to come across her. But if you're not solving the murder mystery, just finding this man in here is scary, because it makes you think, oh my gosh, how did he get here? What is going on? Is there any more bodies in here? This place is creepy. I'm out of here. Do you know what coulrophobia means? If not, well, that just means you're scared of clowns and you've got a fear of them. Well, in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a mission called Grassroots, and we can actually play this whether it be Michael, Trevor, or Franklin. But in this instance, playing as Trevor, we meet this guy named Barry at this makeshift table in Legion Square. He's trying to raise awareness about the legalization of marijuana, and in doing so, he's like, hey, Trevor, take a drag at this blunt here. So we do that, but we find out that this thing must have been laced and it's not normal weed, because Trevor starts to hallucinate, everything goes blurry, and all of a sudden we have tons of angry killer clowns coming out of clown vans trying to get us. And like I said, to some people this might not be scary. It wasn't ever that scary to me, but if you're scared of clowns, well, this is going to be scary, because this is like your worst nightmare, having clowns trying to attack you and kill you, coming out of nowhere while you're high and you don't know what's going on or what to do. Yeah, it definitely does not get any worse than that whatsoever. So, like I said, this one's kind of 50-50. Some of y'all might not be scared by this. Others might be like, oh, hell no. Oh, I'm not messing with these clowns today. Sorry, Rockstar. I'm quitting this mission. I'm going to let them just get me so I can get out of here. But nonetheless, those are actually some of the scariest missions that we have in Grand Theft Auto. I might have missed some. If so, let me know what you think is the scariest missions down below in the comments. If we get enough support on this video, well, we will do a part 2 to this video, but we're going to do the scariest missions in Rockstar Games history. So if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. That way you never miss out on another daily video game upload. And with that said, I'm ZacCox. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love you all. And I hope to see you in the next video.